Well, everybody. Welcome to the show. And, CPI came in line. What were we expecting? Were we expecting spicy? Were we expecting low? I mean, it came in right on the money. And the market says, good! Hopefully that sucking sound isn't your account going down. But, we're still in the downtrend. I've got some stuff to warn about. Be freaking careful. That's the big takeaway here. We've got to be careful. This is still a downtrend. It has not changed anything. Even though it's popping, we can turn around and drop immediately. So be careful. That's the whole thing. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, just because I get it right in the past doesn't mean I'll get it right in the future, is not indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be doing anything with financial instruments. No buying, no selling, no stocks, no options, no bonds, no forex, no futures, no cryptos, no treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. If you desire that personal financial advice, you're like, hey, JT, just tell me what to do. I just want to know how to make money. Guess what? You're going to have to take a personal interest in your situation or go consult and, go hire and consult a financial advisor that can give you advice based on your personal situation, which is not me. I cannot tell you what to do. I don't know your situation. I don't know what you can handle. I'm not going to ask you those questions. We're not going to have that conversation. And so what I say is blanket. It's just out there for everybody. It's not specific to you. If you need that personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor. It's like on 30 Minutes of Awesome last night, somebody's like, I got into Mora 22 and I need to know if I should close it. And that's personal financial advice. I can't help you there, all right? That's not the kind of thing I'm doing. You got to make your own choices. You got to make your own decisions. You got to have your own plan. Don't ask me what you should do with your money, please. All right? So there's the CPI right there. I told you something funny was going on. Something funny was going on when they released the PPI yesterday and now the CPI today. And we have one more day of this potential. We got retail sales coming out tomorrow. How good were retail sales in the holidays? How good were they? I don't know. If they were kind of on the crap side, market might sell off tomorrow. Now, I warn this because, let's go look at this. I kind of setting this up here. I don't really care about CPI, never do. I don't really care about retail sales, never do. It's the setup, all right? It's like our brains as humans need some excuse for the market to do whatever it is it's going to do. It's going to do whatever it's going to do anyway. I speculated that we might rally up to the downtrend of highs and then roll off. Look what we're doing today. Popping right up, coming into that resistance, and guess what? Dun, 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 dun. That looks like what we might do. Watch out for those retail sales tomorrow. That could be the excuse that we do this. Don't let it catch you by surprise, all right? As good as everything seems like it is, don't let it catch you by surprise. Now, also, we have Inauguration Day on Monday. We could continue this party right up to there, and that'd be the excuse, all right? I don't know that retail sales is the excuse. I don't know that the inauguration is the excuse. Something could happen Monday. As much as all the security and planning and all the things, and we hope that nothing bad happens, something bad could happen. All right. I mean, there's been plenty of crappy situations going on already. I touched my glasses or something here. Hold on. I mean, there's already been California wildfires. There's already been crap in Vegas. There's already been crap in Louisiana. What else is going to happen? Something bad could happen. All right. Could affect the market. We have that set up. It's sitting here in place. Right? It doesn't look like we're going to flush it down to epic lows, but something can take us down to the roadmap line. Something can make that happen. What? I don't know. I just threw out a bunch of potentials. Just threw out a bunch of potentials. So I don't know. I mean, I don't profess to ever know what the excuse is going to be. I just sit here and look at the charts. Something could take us right down. Everybody clear? Everybody cool? Any questions? What it is? I don't know. I don't care. A door flying off a Boeing, right? I mean, to make a stab back at a year ago. Something looks like, and until we get above this downtrend of highs right here, till we get it, can firmly get above that, there is where we're most likely headed. All right, everybody cool? Let's move on. Look at that. Same story. Same situation. Downtrend of highs. This is why I'm on this narrative right now. That's why I'm making this prediction right now. Looks the same. Now, Russell doing something different. This one's on a different path. Now, resistance going higher is all the way up here. I don't think we're going to get there. Now, it also has a downtrend of highs, but we're pushing right into it already. Kind of. I guess it depends on which highs you line up on. Already pushing into it. This one left the downside unfinished, really. I mean, it could possibly be the bounce. That could be the resistance. And we could, be looking for further downside later. It's less clear. Less clear. This has not had a clear downside cooking. If this is it, we may head on down. Like, we may rally up to this resistance and then turn down. All right. So stick around to the end. I have a bonus trade stuck at the end. I'll give you my bias for the day at the end. And so let's get cooking, shall we? We got a long list today. It was this pop, pretty spicy on the CPI. I mean, just in case you didn't see it, look at this. Look at this pop. Look at that. Nice, big, fat kapow. The market was wound up, and pop. Drifting off a little bit. We'll probably do a retrace. Some sort. We're way above the 15-minute, way above the 30 minutes. We busted through the hour. I mean, we may come back and retest all these. So be careful on that today. We may come back before we can pop up here. So this may retrace today, and then we go up here for retail tomorrow, and then we roll off. I don't know. Never know for sure. All right, like there's no. So far, that could be 5 up. That could be a retrace. We could be working on a bullish move. Just I'm recycling here a little bit. That could be 5 up. That could be the retrace. 618 could be popping. If we're going to start tilting this more bullish, and we need to get all the way up to here, do a little retrace and bust through at the minimum. Yeah, that's the proportion I need to see. I need to see that 60-15 level. Got to go up there, maybe retrace back to here, and get the heck out of this downtrend. That's what I want to see right there. So flipping back to oil, looking at this baby. We back tested the breakout. That was a back test, and we're holding, and we're flipping green. Setting up the odds that we're going on up. Gonna cruise on up higher. That's good for the XOP bonus yesterday. We do have some resistances along the way. All these prior highs that, all these zones, 84, 90 is kind of main target zone right up here. We may bounce back down off of 90 and then go cruising on up to 105. 105, the big resistance. That's the 618 of the entire big pullback from right here in March of 22 to right here in May of 23. That whole big, everything else since then has been inside action from that big swing. That 618 resistance right up there at 105 area, 104, 105. If we can break through that, all these other targets start coming into play. All these other upside. Yeah, 170. That's going to be crazy, right? Imagine inflation. What's inflation going to do when we get some of these upside targets? Whew. So oil's moved too fast, too recently to show up in CPI today. I think that's maybe why the market kind of popping it a little bit. If you want to really dive into it, why the algorithms might be ripping today a little bit. Oil's been up and it didn't affect CPI, so some convoluted way, make it rip. Gold, caution, still below the downtrend of highs. This could be a little setup, a little 1-2, and we get the bigger flush here, like this right here. Could be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down into the levels we've been talking about for, since we started correcting over here in November. I guess October is really where we started correcting. Watch out. Watch out, watch out. Finally wrap that thing up. Bitcoin still has a downtrend of highs. You notice the theme here, right? Everything still has a downtrend of highs. All the important big money things. We're still in that downtrend of highs. Caution. All right, 105. Above 105 is where I start thinking this might be done. 105 is my level. We get done with that, we can start looking on up. And I'm not just talking this thing spikes up and then we get the candle body close back down here. That's not what I'm looking for. All right. Do not want to see a spike up like that and then a candle close down here. That would not be what I'm looking for. All right. That's not a break of 105. That's just we tried and we failed. It's kind of like this one right here. It tried to go lower and it failed. So watch out for those long tails, long wicks, whatever you want to call them, hammer candles like this baby over here. Do not want to see one of those right over here touching 105 and then we get a close back down under here. Not what I want to see at all. That would indicate that we're probably going to flush right on down to the roadmap line. Right in there. All right. Ethereum sitting on the roadmap line, still in the range from 2 days ago. That high, that low, we're still inside. This can still flush right down to the target zone. Be careful. Dollar rejecting. Interesting. So we've got this little baby uptrend of lows going right here. Start breaking below that. Watch for it to return back into this zone somewhere around the roadmap line. If we can get below that, we're going down to the mid 90s more than likely. And this is done for now. Everybody talking about a super strong dollar, and it could just bounce off of that resistance zone that we've had on the chart for 2 years and start dropping. All right. NKD. What an interesting chart here. So the U.S. market's not responding to global liquidity. This is sitting on the roadmap line right there in the middle of the box, just continuing to go sideways. As long as we're just ping-ponging in here, global liquidity not really affecting the U.S. markets. Now, if we break out the top, probably U.S. market's going higher on global liquidity increasing. If we break down below here and get a big down, U.S. market's probably going down, global liquidity declining. And you can argue with me if you want. If you say, well, the Japanese stock futures are not global liquidity, I argue that it kind of is. All right, we saw this liquidity event back here, big dip, took the U.S. markets down in August, and then we ripped it right back. There are lots of things firing off here this morning. Holy moly. Holy moly. Things are ripping. There's probably going to be a lot of alerts. All right. Gainers list. This list is long today. If you didn't see the message in Discord or in Telegram, the list is a long one today. We're talking about 167 gainers, 11 decliners. That's 167 tickers in the pre-market. We're up $2 or more. 11, we're down $2 or more. It's 178 tickers, and I have the bonus trade at the end of that. So get another monster, refresh your cup of Joe, whatever it might be. We're going to be here a little bit. And if you got to check out, that's cool. It'll be recorded. You can come back later, pick up whatever you missed. All right. Watch it in 2x, whatever it is. So BLK, first one on the list. Nice pop potential. That hit the target up there, so be careful. But we did another roadmap bounce right here. This high, this low. Black Rock. Potential to go up to 1100. If we can get the daily close above the 618. If we just reject right there, watch out for a lower low. That's the warning. This can rally right up here, right like that. FNGU, we're still in the downtrend. We did hit the ideal target zone. We might pop, might go on up to 713, 730. But we also may bounce right off the downtrend highs and come down to the roadmap line. So that was the initial point where I thought we would drop to. First move down, second move, and third move, right to that target zone. Nailed it. All right, if you're not seeing it, this first move down right here, right there. Second move was right there. And third move was right here. All right. Right to the target zone. That's why the target was right there. Now, can it bounce, break out of this downtrend highs, and get going? Question mark. I don't know. Or is it going to go on down to that support right there? Always got to have a bullish and bearish plan from wherever you are in anything you're trading. All right. It's like JT perma bull? No. Perma bear? No. Perma cautious? Yes. We can always lose money. GS popping on earnings. This might be more important than the CPI is that bank earnings coming in smoking hot. Look at that. Beat by 45%. Holy moly. Bank earnings setting up the potential to go up there. 623 on Goldman Sachs. We'll cover some more. JPM. See what we got here. Yeah, came in not quite a 45% beat. That one's setting up for 257 up there. Possibly. We did fire off the entry yesterday at the close. Let's see. Let's cover some more. BAC. See what we got. We got earnings coming up tomorrow morning on BAC. WFC. We had a small beat on the top but missed on the bottom. If you ever hear anybody talk about that, earnings on the top, revenue on the bottom. That number was a beat, green. That number was a miss, red, right there. So beat on the top, missed on the bottom. And it was a pop. That one didn't quite meet the bounce criteria. Let's see, let's just remove that fib line. It is above, this is probably a 4-hour bounce. Not quite. 1-hour bounce. Muddied that up. Went a little deeper, but yeah, that's so lower time frame could be a move up to $80 or so. Maybe. WFC, COF. Still got earnings coming up out here next week. TFS. Still got earnings next week. Visa's on out. MasterCard on out. A lot of this stuff looked like it was going to bounce. A lot of this stuff needed a retrace of the roadmap line. So this is interesting. Interesting. And then we have stuff like local banks. First Horizon coming up tomorrow. That one's already ripping here. This was a Knoxville bank, and it turned into more of a regional bank. Yeah. Can't ever remember Regions Financial, RF. That one not really getting its act together here. Earnings coming up Friday for Regions. That one needs to break above here to go cruising on up there. All right. I think I had enough of those financials. After financials, kind of the majority of those get, a lot of the big ones released earnings already. Once these all kind of get out there, we're going to see rotation out of financials and into big tech. Big tech will kind of start running. That's usually what happens. Now, that's just the general broad quarterly cycle. Any kind of market event, liquidation event, or otherwise can change that tune. So don't get caught up in that too much. All right. So San Francisco. Why are you in that nasty place? Anyway, app right down. Looks like we're going to retrace despite the minor pop today. RH really looks best with a retrace the roadmap line. MSTR could be done on the downside, but I caution. We left the roadmap untouched. This could be complete. Had an initial move up, a retrace. We're not making a higher high yet on this potential. Got to get above that to really signal. And then we've got those highs right there. We got to get above that. So first thing we got to do, we already did a first thing, which is make a higher low. Second thing we got to do, break above that high. Third thing we got to do, break above this and stay above it. And we go cruising on up. It's 600 area probably first, and then 1,000 was my big target. So we may come up in here, get a significant retrace before we can go on up like that. If we're going higher. Now, we could come up here, meet resistance, and come down to the roadmap line. Remember, Bitcoin's still in a downtrend. This is heavily dependent on Bitcoin. If you're new here and you don't know why, go Google it a little bit. The majority of this company's assets are in Bitcoin. They act like leveraged Bitcoin. They trade like leveraged Bitcoin. Tesla was getting a little pop. Now we're taking that back a little bit. So everything's turning a little sour here. We were up here rocking and rolling. Now we're turning a little sour. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Netflix. Looks like we're coming back to the roadmap line. Just looks like what we're going to do. Why? Who cares? That's what the pattern is. DPST, I warned that this may be indicative that regional banks are going to pop on earnings. If we get above this level up here, this is probably going on higher. That target up off the top of the screen, somewhere around 190, 200 area right up there. FAS, also indicative that we were going to get a pop on bank earnings. It's just reading the tea leaves in these leveraged ETFs. When they kind of set up a bounce, it kind of indicates that maybe the reaction to banks, financials, reporting earnings is going to be bullish. Could you trade these? Yeah, you could. Just be careful. Leverage comes with significant risk of loss. All right, be careful, be careful, be careful. Meta really looks like it wants to come back to the roadmap line. BGT really looks like it wants to come back to the roadmap line. We be careful. There's a lot of stuff looks like it wants to come back to the roadmap line. GE Veranova, That consolidated back here and popped. Now we consolidated here, and if we pop the same amount, it'll take us up to 700 or so. That's what I got on that one. Just an echo. Market echo. In Home Depot, potential pop. There's resistance right there at 417. We get above that. 447, 454. Targets up there. BECN. The beacon. And nice. Beacon Roofing Supply. As far as home builders being absolutely wrecked, this one doing pretty good. We popped up to the 1272. We retraced it back almost to the roadmap line. Now going up to the 1618. That's probably resistance about 123. And we may get another pullback before we can go higher again if we're going to. Coin. Potentially balanced, but I would feel a lot better if this went just a little lower. We came up just shy. Like we missed just shy. Could it be done? Sure. Bitcoin's not bullish yet. Be careful. If Bitcoin goes deeper for that roadmap line, this should come on down a little deeper and set up the bounce. Don't get too bullish too early. Don't get tricked. Don't get trapped. And also, don't get in now and then liquidate everything. If you're getting in now, you got to ride it through any dip we get, unless it breaks below the support of the dip. All right. Otherwise, you're just going to get chopped up. You're going to, when we dip, when and if we dip, you're going to get chopped up, and then you'll be like, oh, I got to get back in, and you buy high, sell low, buy high. That's just a chop up. Just a chop up. So be careful. All right. Like when we look at Bitcoin, golly, a little sludge in there. We've got this downtrend of highs. If you're like, I'm missing it, I gotta buy right now. And then we come in tomorrow, retail sales, and we're back down here. And you're like, oh, sugar, honey, iced tea, I gotta close my position. You just bought high, sold low, market thanks you for your liquidity, and we might bottom out here and then come ripping back, and you're like, oh, sugar, honey, iced tea, I gotta buy again. And if it doesn't break out, it could go again. Don't get trapped in these. These are suck-ins, all right? They suck people into the market, and they rip your money. We've all been there, right? We've all been there. We've all done that. I speak from years and years of experience. Don't get sucked into the trap. When we do a candle like this, that's the day to buy. In fact, I did buy some BitX right there. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe I can get that out of my throat. I bought some BitX when I saw Bitcoin doing that big spike right there. I bought it. Now, looking pretty good. Still in a downtrend. I may sell this back off if things turn sour. Playing the bounces. Still expect that. All right. Nice, Rob. Nice. And you can call them dead cat bounces. You can call them dead, whatever. But really, to me, dead cat bounces are ones that come down, hit some support, rally strongly, 618, and then rip the support. And that's really what looks more like a dead cat bounce to me. But that would those are the ones that are rough. It looked more like, let's go look at this really quickly. I'll show you one that sticks out very clearly to me. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of like this one right here. We came down to a support level. Didn't even have a downtrend of highs, really. I mean, we kind of did right there. We broke through it and then ripped it. That, to me, is a dead cat bounce. Like, we bounced up, got really enthusiastic, and then ripped it right down to deeper support. And the one right here, kind of that way also. We didn't even make it to the resistance there. We got really enthusiastic after hitting support. And then, ouch. So be careful. these are the ones that like they're really enthusiastic and then they turn really bearish, really enthusiastic the other way. That's to me, that's more of a dead cat bounce. These ones that we got right now, just chop, more choppiness than anything. That's what I feel like we got cooking here. And when we look at what we got cracking right now, just feels like a choppy grind into the roadmap line. We saw this a lot kind of in 2022 on a bigger scale. When we go zoom out, look over here, just adding to the price action conversation. You see how this, on a bigger scale, just kept grinding down. Couldn't break through that until we did, right over here. And like that's the reversal right there, that setup. When we did that, rocket ship. That's why I always like to see. That's kind of like why I watch these downtrend highs. If we bounce off of it, break through it, back test it, that right there is the sign that a power move potentially coming. As we see on ES here, that kept on going right up here. So, and now why are we stopping where we're stopping? Run the fib lines right here. If you've not seen this before, you're new here. Look, we stopped right at the 1618. Got just a little over enthusiastic, but still grinding it. We're having a lot of trouble getting through it. Next level up, possibly as high as 7,000, but I don't think we're quite going to get there. I have this feeling that we're going to get into the 6,600 area and then go for a bigger down, just based on some other market things going on. So be careful out there. All right, be careful out there. I think below 4,000 before we go above 7,000. Now, back to where I was. FAS, we already did that one. Costco. Came up shy of my target. Probably going to hit the roadmap line. We haven't done that, I don't know, really long time. All the way back here in May of 23. This has been rocking and rolling higher than the roadmap line. This was a giant watermelon seed squeeze, and it popped and broke out, found a little resistance at the top there, and then kept going. I would love to see a roadmap bounce finally. Like I said, it's been since May of 23. Basically since the breakout down here. That's how much pent-up energy was in there from this big watermelon seed squeeze consolidation. Adobe. Ooh, come on. Getting close to the target. And then we have the bigger downside target cooking down here. And a measured bounce target, I think it was. No, that's just the 3-wave. Yeah, well, it's kind of a measured bounce target. It's from this right there. Went a little deeper than I wanted to see, but that puts it right down there. It's where the first move down, second move, and the third move right there. QQQ came up shy of the roadmap line. This is the one thing that gets me super cautious here in the market. I said we needed to hold that breakout. We back tested it all the way, even tried to go below it right there. We held on to it really tightly. Potential, if we can get out of the downtrend of highs, QQQ could be indicating we're going to rip higher. It could. We held on to that really tightly. So you got to watch this baby right here. We get above that downtrend of highs. This is maybe the biggest indicator that we're done and we're going higher. So watch that level right there like a hawk. That'd be a main place to watch. You can watch it on NASDAQ. You can watch it on, I mean, it's the same on NASDAQ, you know, NQ. Same over there. That's the chart I actually watch for me personally. So we did hold on to that high right there. We held on for dear life. We tried 3 days. We tried to break below it. We tried for 3 days to bust below it. Now we're getting a rip off of it. We break out. It's indicative that we're going higher. All right. How do you know? Watch these things. You're like, wow, that's too much to keep up with. Okay, just come back tomorrow. I'll let you know how we're going, how we're doing. All right. That's the options you got. Either you watch it yourself or you come follow somebody like me. Just make sure you're subscribed and come check in again. So CRWD looks like we're on a slow grind back to the roadmap line. Nail, nice pop. That may have been support. The upside resistance is at the roadmap line right there. If you're like, JT, man, keep talking about this roadmap line. How do I get it? You can click right down there underneath me, my channel name. You can click that. The channel, the video pinned to the channel is the roadmap line. Gives you the code, gives you all the details, gives you how it works. It's pretty much everything I could do. Shows you how I find a list, all the things. Now, if you're like, that's too difficult, I don't like to do code, I don't want to try to set it up myself, cool, that's fine. $5, links in the description, right down below that, below the channel, the little more button, it's underneath, the video if you're looking at it on a web browser. If you're on a mobile phone, you got to scroll down and where it says more, expand it out. I've got a link in there, $5. You can get the roadmap line and training and all the stuff in a more formalized way. I also give you a watch list for 3 weeks, or 3 months. I make a weekly watch list. I do that every week for 3 months if you do that $5 thing. Plus, you can get in Discord and all the other things. All right. But I give it to you all for free. So, you don't have to pay $5. And if you want to be a channel member, there's perks there too. IVV. Same kind of thing. That's core S&P 500 right there. So riding with the S&P. SPY, riding with the S&P. Watching for that downtrend of highs. Just the same. Now remember, SPY is a derivative. All right. JT, why don't you watch SPY? It's the market. No, that's an ETF right there. It's a derivative. ES and SPX are the market. Watch the underlying. Don't watch the derivative. Don't make your decisions. Same on QQQ. QQQ is the derivative. Don't make your decisions there. That's why I watch NQ and ES. And that's why I talk about them first instead of talking about SPY and QQQ. Lily, watch out. We tagged that target zone. We tagged it. Right in the freaking middle of that thing. There's the resistance. If we get above it, we can start talking breakouts. Got that gap down right there. Big red zone. We're going to have to get above to go on up, potentially to 1,000. VU is another. This is basically SPY, just run by Vanguard instead of Spider. Same situation, downtrend of highs, came up shy of the roadmap line. PTIR, that's PLTR. And with leverage, be freaking careful here. This looks like to me we're going to roll off and hit the roadmap line. This would be a huge buying opportunity. If you're in it and you don't want to ride that down, you better know where you're getting out. All right. If you're not in it and you're looking to get in it, that would be a great place. Does it have to do that? No. Is it ideal for me for further price action? Yes. But it doesn't have to. But it does come down here quite often. It's been a little while, August. So watch out. If we get a bigger flush in the market, that may come down there really quickly. And let's see, we were on PTIR. Jump back up. CEG. Nice bounce. We're at the target. Watch profit. Lock in profit. If you missed it, wait for the next setup. Probably come back to the roadmap line eventually. Like, it wasn't too long. Like here, wait for the roadmap line, bounce, target, get out, wait for the roadmap line, bounce, get in, get out. You gotta have a pattern, right? Roadmap line pattern is my standard pattern. My other one, my like works sometimes. More favorite for bigger gains, but it's lower probability. Measured bounce. All right, SAP, and that's the European version. SAP New York version. A lot more choppy. New high, but still waiting for this to retrace back down. Just nothing to do. Look at that grind. Hadn't been down to the roadmap line in, gosh, since October 23. Can you keep riding that? Sure. I mean, as long as we're in the channel, you can keep riding it. Ride that pony till it dies. If you're not in it now, that's awful risky. Be careful. SPXL. Now, why do I think the market might have a bounce that breaks out? Because these leverage charts right here. You see this hit. Fully hit right there. And we're bouncing. We break out here. Rock and roll time. In fact, it might kick off an alert for an entry when we get that move and a daily close above that 618 level without breaking the daily highs. The downtrend of daily highs. Check this one out. This one also bounced. These leverage charts, be careful. Ultra means leverage. These potentially bounced. They kick off high probability trade when they start running. So I'm all over the place today. I'm excited. Like, today's an opportunity day. Like, if we're going to break out, today's an opportunity. MDB. I wait around for days like this. Days like this are the fun days. But that looks like we're going down. This was a rejection off the 618. That's probably going lower low. Not awesome. Cat. Potential bounce there. Break above that. Gap down. 428 on the upside. Lows. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of the same as Home Depot. Is Home Builders beat up enough that we get a pop and a break above this? Are things rosy when Trump takes over next week? Everybody gets kind of optimistic and things go higher? It's possible. It's possible we get Trump Rally 2.0 here. CRM, looks best if we hit the roadmap line, but we can bounce here and go higher. 377. It's a 4-hour bounce, I do believe. Yep. 4-hour bounce, but remember the daily roadmap line down here around 300. IWM, like I said, on Russell, there's the resistance right up there at the 618. Should pull that down just a hair. There's the resistance right up there. If we pop up into it, watch out for the bigger flush. Watch out, watch out, watch out. I should probably adjust these just slightly so they match everything. That 203 area would be, like, if we come up here and stop in this zone right here, then start drifting down, that is kind of a high probability trade. And I like to trade IWM on these more than anything else because it's the most reliable. Like, I traded this one when we broke down that uptrend of lows right there. We broke down right there. I got in, and it wasn't long. I had to wait and got out. We do it over here. May not be long. You have to wait to get out at 203. Dia de los Muertos. Nice potential bounce on the diamonds. Does have a gap down right there. If we can get through it, it sets up a new potential high. Watch for a bounce off it, though, and it'll move lower. And this YM1 exclamation point. I don't usually look at Dow because it's just a trash index, but here's the potential upside right here. This has a nice setup. If we can break higher than the 618 right there, that can go rocking and rolling right up in there. Carvana. Not really been very bullish here. Hindenburg report may have some truth to it. Probably does. Watch out for bigger downside. Got earnings coming up way out here in February. Microsoft. Choppy. Choppy. Could not get up off of the... Golly, man. Has not been able to get off the roadmap line. Holding the uptrend of lows. If we get below that uptrend of lows, this one may fleece bigger. Watch out. All right, watch out. That was the first move down right there at this point. This was the first move down. That next move down can put us right down in here if we break down. First move down. The retrace. The third move down. Watch out. For solar, under the roadmap line, this is bearish. I don't care how much it's up today. As long as it's below the roadmap line, down to the targets is where I expect it to go. Build our first source under the roadmap line. Watch for that to bounce down and go lower. It's indicating that home builders might be turning a corner, but this also could turn sour really quickly and take everything lower again. Same with Home Depot, same with Lowe's, same with Builder First Source, same with all the DHI, Lennar, all these ones we're about to talk about. Vista Corp, resistance at 189. DHI, resistance at the roadmap line, might go lower. Be careful. This is not looking very good. Now, why am I kind of bearish on home builders? Let me pull this up and show it to you. I didn't even plan on talking about this, but let me pull this up and show it to you. Right here. Check this out. Why aren't you... That's weird. Oh, cool. They changed the way that Discord works. Love it. This right here. This is one I'm kind of concerned. Just a little bit. Mortgage application index. This is the kind of like the number of mortgage applications. And we had a high up here, 2004. Guess where problems started coming in right here as we were plummeting into the abyss. Maintained a low rate until we actually got a recovery. And then we spiked up into pandemic. Look what's been happening on mortgages ever since the pandemic. 1, 2, 3, 4. We might go down to lows we haven't had since the 90s. That's not too good. Home builders not going to be super successful if they're selling less and less things, even if things get more and more profitable. So something's wrong. We broke down the uptrend of lows. We might come up and back test that and then go epically lower. Something's up in the housing market. Uptrend of lows. We might come up and back test it. LABU. That's biotech. Be careful. Over the long term, this thing's a giant dumpster fire. It's leverage and it's biotech. It's two of the things that really don't get me up in the morning. Reverse split in there. Giant dumpster fire. Probably going lower eventually. Reddit. Is it going to consolidate and pop again, or are we going to roll back to the roadmap line? Not really enough candles to do much with. So that's so far 1, 2, 3, which that proportion looks bullish, and we may just need a little retrace and a run even higher. We'll see what we get to here. I can't really predict Reddit, but it'll be played out eventually and then do a bigger retrace. Visa looks best if we come back to the roadmap line, but maybe that was just a 4-hour bounce right there. Came in just shy of it and extension. What does that look like? That high, that low. Right there's your upside. 330. 325, 330 area. We're going to climb it on up. Somewhere there. AVGO. Watch for this to drop on down. This looks best at first move down, retrace, next move down. Looks best if we bottom somewhere in here. Roadmap line, always great, but we may stop right at 215. Delta dog, data dog, delta dog. That's another 4-hour potential bounce there. Break above that, or we could come on down to the daily right down here. Yeah, AVGO's daily is way on down here. BX came up shy of the roadmap line. This looks best if we do that, but maybe that's bounce. We break above that. And going up to 206, possibly. Flutter Entertainment reporting all that sports betting loss, but not really too bad on the chart. Watch for a 618 resistance on this retrace here, just above us at 270, which can lead to the next move down to the roadmap line. Snow. Watch for that 618 resistance I've been talking about for a few days now. Since we made the bottom over here. Watch for that to hold. And we take another dive down to the roadmap line on the daily. A-Lab. Watch for that to retrace. Toll Brothers, another home builder. Uptrend to lows, same as the others. Watch for the back test and the breakdown. If we can break above, that's cool, but we don't usually get super bullish after breaking down below the lows. AXP, that needs to retrace. That's American Express, another credit card, but that's rocking and rolling higher. BRKB, potential bounce off the roadmap line. And the last one worked out. Look at that one. Boom, right up to target. So moving over that high. Almost the exact same proportions. We may see it pop up to 500. 499. SMH just churning, burning. Caution, this has not been able to get off the roadmap line. I'll be very careful going long, getting bullish on this. Could it hit some targets? Could it break out? Sure. Is that price action very indicative of moving higher? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Be careful. QMCO, Quantum Computers, getting a little reprieve here. Probably see some 618 bounces. Maybe. On a bunch of this quantum stuff. And then next move down. I think, what's another one? QUBT, I think. Yeah. Same situation. Watch for that 618 level, that gap down, and drop lower. Years away as Mr. Jensen, the head of NVIDIA, maybe like, what happened on quantum? I warned that this is years away, right? We started ripping. I was like, you should stay away. We're probably going to get ripped. And then the head of NVIDIA comes out and says, hey, 15 years is probably overly optimistic for this stuff actually working. And big job. Let's be honest. If you know nothing about quantum computing, the algorithms are all hypothetical. The actual hardware is all vaporware. Yeah, they've got they're making some breakthroughs, getting some bits that technically work. It's all kind of smoke and mirrors at this point. It's all vaporware. It doesn't actually exist. The algorithms aren't proven to actually work and do the things they think they can do. It's all theoretical. They kind of model it, and they're like, well, we think it's going to work. Guess what? It may not actually work. It may never work. All right? They think we have an idea that maybe it's going to work. It's kind of like fusion, Fusion's always a few years away. Nobody's figured it out yet. Nobody's figured out how to control it. Nobody's figured out. I mean, we know it's a thing. We know quantum is a thing. But how do you use it in a practical application? I mean, we spend billions of dollars on this stuff. Not get anywhere. Who's invested in fusion energy? Nobody. Right? The money pit right now. Quantum computing. It's a money pit. These are all dumpster fire stocks. Look at this. All right. Hate to break it to you. Dumpster fire. Don't get caught up in it. It's years away. Maybe 20 years, according to Jensen. He's a smart guy. He sells a lot of the equipment that they do the modeling for the applications on. So APO looks like we're retracing. XLY looks like we're retracing. Be careful. BRT looks like we're retracing. That may go up to the target up here. 154, 163. BTI. Watch for the roadmap line. Amazon. It's starting to be a downtrend here. Be careful. Holiday earnings are not typically the bullish thing for Amazon. If you go look at this, just take a trip back, right? 2024. Typically take a little spill into the new year here. That one popped. Go back 2023. You just kind of like, we hyped up into earnings and then down. Go back 2022. Hyped up into earnings and down. 2021. Hyped up in earnings and down. Kind of see a recurring pattern here. 2024 was kind of the outlier where we kept on going. 2020, ramp up and down. And you're like, oh, that was COVID. Okay, keep going. 2019, ramp up and down. It's not always a huge down, but that was down nonetheless. That one dropped out into the new year. Just go look at the chart. I mean, earnings and down. First quarter earnings are usually a negative reaction. We don't sell as much Christmas stuff as we thought we were going to. 2017, down. Not a big down, but down, and then resume the trend. This is why I say, like, I don't just say this stuff. Like, look right there. That one down. I go look at these charts, and I have these patterns in a lot of stocks. Like this one, outlier. Kept on. That one made the down in before earnings, and then. So that's all the way back 10 years. So be careful thinking Amazon's going to be super bullish because they had a great Christmas. History says they tend to disappoint everybody on their Q1 earnings. And we get a down in February. Sometimes a big down, sometimes a little down. This one actually looks best if we do a 618 retrace off of this whole big move up. That's the first move. That's the retrace. Set up a base, and then we can go epically higher from there. Maybe. MSTX. If MSTR is ripping from here, this one should maintain the breakout and keep going. I do own shares of MSTX again. TECL. Potential for that to rally on up to 125. SOXX. I got to get cooking here. Already 10:15. All right. Sideways chop on the roadmap line. UDOW. Potential bounce. Break above that. Go up to 117. PANW. Watch for the drop to the 618. Right there. We rode this one over here. Not feeling as spicy on this one over here. All right. That one, I felt pretty good. Rode it for almost a year. Like, that was before the regular split here. 2 for 1. So we were in about 300 and we got out at like 400. That was pretty good. That was about 30% gain on shares. This one, not feeling as good until we get down here to 150. Citigroup. There's another bank. Forgot about. Nice pop on that one. Out at targets. Watch for the big resistance up here at the highs. See these two highs over here? These have been significant long-term highs. We're coming back up into that. Watch out on Citigroup. URT, Ultra Russell. This one, if you think we're going to bounce up that 618, could be a leverage way to play Russell on the rally up here. UP Upstart, UPST, looks like it'd be best to come back to the roadmap line. ZS, stuck at the roadmap line, came up shy of the target on the bottom. CLS, Watch out. We need a retrace. TQQQ. Set up the bounce. We need to break out above the downtrend highs and above the 618 level right in there and get the move higher. Looking for that to potentially pop and go. Look at that. All right. XLK. Ooh, look at that. Nice. Potential bounce. Next extension. That high, that low. Yeah, right around 244, 246, possibly 253. ARQQ. Another quantum. All the things I said already. RCL. Watch for that to drop to the roadmap line. UPRO. Potential bounce here. That's a ultra S&P, like SPXL, just different. Breakout above the downtrend of lows. Could be set up for 102. TTD. Potential to go lower, down to the roadmap line. QLD. Potential to drop on down to the roadmap line. That's ultra. That's like TQQQ, but QLD. Different. There's lots of different tickers. Lots of different ways to play. Small cap bull. That's not looking very bullish yet. But TNA may. I can't say TNA without thinking teenage boy brain. And break out above the 618 here. Launch up. TNA. AMAT below the roadmap line, and lower target would be what I expect. That's just what I expect. It may break out above the roadmap line and set up the bullish move, but right now we're not there yet. Not there yet. Resistance still up that prior high. NTES trying really hard to break through the downtrend highs if we can. Upside targets up here. 150, 170, 180, 200. QQQM. It's another NASDAQ 100 ETF that came up shy of the roadmap line so far. WGS, probably going to retrace to the roadmap line. Affirm, probably going to retrace to the roadmap line. LEU, probably going to retrace to the roadmap line. Came up just shy. If we break above that 93 area, we could go on up to 128. QCOM, if we bounce off the roadmap line, we can come on down into the targets down here. Significant resistance right there. If we can break above it, we can set up the bigger upside targets up here around 330, but it might go lower. MS. Maybe we're done with the consolidation. We're going higher, but roadmap line would be what I expect. Same on WFC. Same on Shopify. Same on XHB. Resistance at home builders. Remember, broke down. We may backtest that uptrend of lows and go lower. Caution. Something's up in home builders. MIDU. 3x bull on mid caps. Could be a bounce. That high, that low. Break above the 618 at 61, 73, 76 on the upside. Oracle. Down to the roadmap line. Can we bounce? Break above the gap down. And 204, 205 on the upside. DXYZ. That really looks nasty and like it's going to come back to the bottom. ITB. Resistance at the roadmap line. This is home construction ETF. ARM. More home builders. ARM. Chopping in the zone. Similar to all those ones like SMH and stuff like that. Although this is a actual chip designer, but that still looks like we're going to come down here. Fill that gap. I thought we were going to come back down for a long time. We kind of dipped in there, but we didn't fully get to the bottom. I got this feeling like we're coming down eventually on ARM. JPM, it looks like we're popping up. Upside targets 257, 260. Google, maybe played out here. Could be winding up. Retesting the breakout there pretty solidly. Retesting. It can push on higher. 207, possibly even up to 227. But if we start breaking down below that breakout, roadmap line. Airbnb. This, if some of the stuff actually comes to fruition that I hear about Airbnb, this one may be going for a deeper retrace. Google, other Google, Class A shares, a little more reliable, 206, 225, and roadmap line. EMPH, Watch for that to flush on down. Dun, 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 dun. Not just mortgage rates, though. You can say it's because of mortgage rates, but people still need housing. But they're not moving. They're not buying. They're not anything. It's freezing up the market. You can say it's mortgage rates. Sounds like an excuse to me. I mean, mortgage rates, they've been higher. They've been lower. Not higher recently, but you got to reevaluate your life choices. That's a warning sign on NVIDIA. We broke down below the uptrend of lows. We back tested it. Just like I was talking about on home builders. Can go lower. Dun, 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 dun. This is applications. That's not lots of applications. These are just applications. They're not mortgages. Just throwing that back out there. There's not lots of applications. Third move down, back to the roadmap line. KBH, another home builder. Resistance. IBKR. There's something else going. It's not just interest rates. Something else is going. I'm telling you. Interactive brokers. Looks like we're retracing. BidX. Potential to break higher. Roadmap line. SQ. Roadmap line. ANET. Roadmap line. Berg. Ooh. See, something else going on. This is a home builder supply. Come on down. DDM. You can put excuses to thing all you want, but I'm telling you, something bigger is cooking. DDM, Ultra Dow. Looks like that may go lower. Possible. We're done. And the Ultra breaks above the 618, goes on up to 110. Twilio, back to the roadmap line. Looks like likely, but we do have this bigger resistance up here at this 187 area, 183, 187. Net. Watch for that to retrace back to the roadmap line. Although we can pop on up. Resistance right there around that 134 area where we topped there and rejected and then topped here and rejected. Might have some sellers come in right there, 130. PLTR, like I said, roadmap line. Marvell. Watch for the retrace. SSO. Got the retrace. Bum, 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 bum. Ultra, that's a leveraged S&P 500, just like SPXL, the others. Dell, this looks like we're going to flush down lower. BitU, watch for the roadmap line. TSLR, watch for the roadmap line, but this could pop here. Held a higher low, like Tesla. Tesla can pop and go. This will go higher. HWM, nice extension. Watch for the retrace now. That looked like it was not quite a 4 hour. It was a little deep for 1 hour, so not really fitting any time frame. That could push on up to 128. It's been a long time since we retraced to the roadmap line back here in October, so it's due for a bigger retrace. Just like Eli Lilly and NVO, eventually they're going to pay the piper. UAL broke out of the watermelon seed squeeze almost to the top there. Look at that. Just like Costco. Could it drift on higher? Sure. Can it start retracing massively? Yeah. SPU, SPYU, that's a 4x leverage. You want to crank the leverage up even higher? There's a 4x right there. SPYU. Absolute crazy. Didn't quite make it down to the level I was hoping to see. Got to the top of it though, right there. Got to the minimum. Pull this up right to there. If this breaks out over these highs right here, this consolidation, right there, this could rock and roll on up. Get a move up there. KBWB. KWIB. Looks like a potential bounce. It's an ETF for banks. Banks are going higher. 73 on the upside. RSP. Equal weight S&P. That one looks like, so equal weight the S&P. It looks like we already completed the correction. Break above the 618. Could go higher. 190. VTW V2. Vanguard Russell 2000. That high, that low. We break above that. Could go up to 101. Or we could bounce off the 618 and go lower. BTCL. 2x long on Bitcoin. If we're going to bounce here, breakouts, higher. Kava. Potential bounce here. List was long today. Getting there. GitLab. Potential bounce in place here. That high, that low. Break above that 618. Could get right into that resistance there from that high. Connell. If coin's going, this one's going. It still looks best with and one more dip. Looks best there if we get above the 618, rocking and rolling. 82, 91 on the upside. OSTX, I never sold Connell, still hold my shares. OSTX, garbage, not trading that. TSLT, watch for the roadmap line. That is 2x long on Tesla, but it does have the higher low, and we could just pop it on out from here. 61, 66. IGV, ooh, that came up close. Looks like it wants to get that last little bit there. But it could be done, and we could rock and roll higher from here. ARKB, that's Bitcoin. Could pop from here, but looks best of a roadmap line. BK, could bounce from here. Looks best if we go back to the roadmap line, but could go on up 83, 84. NVIDIA, like I said, watch for the roadmap line. We get below it. Watch out for down here. UMW, that's Ultra Russell 2000. There's the high, there's the low. I see the comments are a little bit behind me, so it's okay. Break above that, potential to go up there or turn down and go lower. USD, Ultra Semiconductor. Just chopping, riding the roadmap line. Kind of like SMH. Not been able to do anything. May go down lower. IBM. Watch for the roadmap line hit. It's over here. We hit. Probably going to hit over here. May get lower low. Fully back test the breakout there. Somewhere in that zone would be what I expect. And then we can go higher again. Or we could break lower. Which one? I don't know. You got to wait for the bounce. Wait for the bounce or wait for the breakdown down here. Carry. Regional banking. Looks set for another bounce right there. That high, that low. Break above the 618. Going up to 72, 74. GE. Ooh, look at that. Finally set up a roadmap bounce. Potential entry. Kickoff. Get the close above the 618. Target right up there, top of the box. Finally, that one kicked off. BA, watch for this to hold. If it doesn't hold, something deeper is going on. Gotta hold. Really need to hold this area. It's not like you have to hold, but really want to see it hold this area. Now, it could do a 618 retrace, so that could come all the way back down into this zone. So this will be the indicator. If we get below where we are right now, we may come back down to 150 area right here. Wayfair never has what I need. It's still just doing a nasty, choppy overlap grind slightly lower. Keep poking below the lows, so be careful. This thing doing something a little more bearish here. That's what I expect. Just fill out that triangle. CRDO, watch for that to be played out and get a bigger retrace. MU. There's the resistance on the upside. There's the support down here. As long as we're between it, sideways is what I keep saying. PDD, Meta, AMAT. Wow, lots of stuff firing off today. Lots and lots of stuff. OKTA, Net, SMV. Potential for that to have bounced on a lower time frame. That high, that low. 61, 63 if we're going to bounce. ALB. Roadmap line resistance. If we turn down there, watch for another dip further down. Not convinced that's the bottom yet. Wow, this looks really good. That was a 618. That's a measured bounce potential. This history of this thing grinding into the dirt. There's another example of hitting a target right there. Head and shoulders, boom, right to the head and shoulders target. Potential to find a reversal off this, but it doesn't look good yet. NVDO down to the roadmap line, pushing a little below the uptrend of lows. Watch out. This can be indicating that NVIDIA is about to take a spill. Hood. Right now, upside targets. Keep on rocking. 50, 70. Let's go. ARKK. Watch for the roadmap line. FBTC. Watch for the roadmap line. Although this can just push higher. This is Bitcoin. Break up. Go on up. 100, 106, 108, 120. Quantum. Yeah, be careful chasing this stuff. Already talked about quantum stuff. This is an ETF for it, and this may go epically lower. Zillow, watch for that to retrace to the roadmap line. 618 retrace on the first drop. Here's the resistance right there at 79. Resistance, and the roadmap line is support. CRH, watch for that to bounce. It's clearing the clean. That high. That low. If we can bounce up, get above the 98 area, 106 on the upside, IYR. Watch for that resistance and further drop. That's real estate, ETF, SMCX. Watch for that to make a new low. PayPal. Didn't hit the roadmap line. Interesting. 4-hour bounce. Next target's 95, 98, possibly up to 100. GNQ. Despite the honey scam, doesn't seem to be affecting. So we have upside resistance at the roadmap line for VNQ, another real estate ETF. Could we turn it? Maybe, but may go lower. A little optimism on Trump. I don't think the interest rates are giving up anytime soon. XBI, another biotech ETF, just like the other one, just nasty. Don't trade it. FNGS, Fangs, microsector, could be done. Bounce 63, 61, 62, 63. XLI, potential bounce in place. Man, that's a long list. Is long today. Potential break above here, 146, 148. ROKW, or ROKU, Roku. That looks like it wants to go lower. Be careful. It's hitting the resistance zone, that gap down. This may go lower. Be very careful. Microchip. Sitting at the lows. These guys make chips, just other chips, not really like main processors, but this looks like we're about to break down and take a deeper spill here. SOXL, like I said, chips not looking good. This leverage chip thing looking like it may take a spill down here. GBTC, holy moly. Could be done and bounce. This is Grayscale's Bitcoin. May come down to the roadmap line. PSTG, Pure Storage. That looks like we're going to pop on up to this area, 75, 79. NVO, like I said, Eli Lilly looking bad. NVO looking like we may go deeper here, 53. PLTU, another PLTR. This one can take a big spill if that PLTR goes down to the roadmap line. TSLL, this is the one I'm in. Looking for this to rally on up. But be careful, this can come down to the roadmap line. Know where your exit is if you're going to chase it. Decliners, PI. Ooh, looking nasty there. May go down deeper. UVIX into the basement. SARC. I think UVIX was splitting. Yeah. This is reverse splitting today. So even though it's a pop, that's a drop. UVXY is probably in the basement also on the pop today. Yep. I got the heck out for a reason. SARC going into the basement. Reverse splits. KROS plummeting out. Gang. Nasty. TWM. Ultra short Russell. Well, bounced off the roadmap line. Watch for that to retrace a bit. Find a 618 support maybe to turn higher. But it could go lower down to 34. VIXY churning at the bottom. TSDD. 2x short on Tesla. That's probably going in the basement. Reverse split. VXX chopping around here. Be careful. SDAL. Short down. If we get a bounce, this is going in the basement. TSLQ. Watch out for that. So lots of leverage stuff, leverage short stuff in the lows for today with the pop in the market. So this one, OSD. OIS, excuse me. OIS. Can't even read the letters on the screen. That high, that low. This is the bonus trade right here. This setup. Wait till you see the statistics on this, baby. Super spicy. Super spicy. Pop the browser. Copy. Paste this over here. Paste to go. Here you go. So target $6. It is low price stuff. Stop below $3. Look at that. 94% of the time. 12.96. 36-day on average. Only 17 trades though. So why did I pick this? Because that was some spicy profit factor. Almost 13. I mean, that's highly likely to work out right there. Play some shares. Not huge money. It's only about 60%, 60 cent upside. It's like 10%. So pretty nice right there. Let me know if you take it. Not saying do or don't. I definitely take it with shares, not with options. Don't even have options on TradingView for this. So there you go. All right. Bias for the day. Still looking for the breakout. If we can break out on ES, let's go, baby. But watching for it. Watching for it to reject. All right. That's a very, very key level. If we can get above, we pop above, retest, and go. Going higher. If we reject off of this level, lower back to the roadmap line. All right. Bias for the day. Have a great day trading. Be safe out there. Be careful. I'll see you again. Same bad time, same bad channel. Tomorrow morning, we'll go through retail sales. Have a great one. Be safe out there. I'll be in Discord.